Today's game features an accidental game that I queued while looking to play some Street Brawl, in which I was given one of my non-priority picks, Victor, and I figured it would be a good opportunity to fulfill a request that had been made to commentate a Victor game, and here we are. So, you might know, if you've played the game, Victor is quite strong, like kind of ridiculously strong, maintaining one of the best win rates in the game since he released. And as much as I would like to attribute that to him being a bit of a noob stomp, he maintains that win rate up until the highest ranks, with this game you're watching being Phantom 6 average on the opponent, Phantom 4 on our team, and my own rank at the time being Phantom 3. My lane mate is Geist, and our opponents are Lash 7, who make for a potentially challenging lane duo, mostly from 7, who is one of Victor's peers in the high win rate category, but I wouldn't say his laning is strong, just a bit oppressive to manage. He can clean up waves quickly, has a good gun for denies and poke, CC at a push of a button is always going to be really good, and the zone denial from his ult when that comes up is ridiculously unmatched. Lash isn't too bad to deal with, he's all low damage poke bursts until his ult. He's just a bit tricky to poke and dive. Their ults combined, if used effectively, can be lane winning, but their ults alone in different situations can safely maintain a lane in their own favor. That all being said, I am playing Victor with a Geist, so none of that matters. I am able to tank pretty much all of the poke that hits me, and if I am in danger, I can easily retreat and recover health to come back for more. That, with Geist poke keeping our opponents at danger range, essentially gave me a free lane to look for kill opportunities and denies. And that is proven as I put myself in a position looking for engagement, in which I could tank their burst. I retreated while Geist was able to safely put on damage, and a jumpstart let me easily, safely follow up with her to get a double kill, in which I come out of the full engagement with half my health bar remaining. Essentially, if you can't kill Victor quickly, he is simply going to outlive you. And now, with an early lane lead, he is going to start doing a lot of damage on top of that. Beyond that, I really don't know what to say to help you find success on Victor, other than maintain your health bar, meaning hold angles, play patiently for health recovery, don't die to your own aura. A lot of my deaths on Victor are from me not paying attention to how much damage I am taking, and my self-damage ends up dwarfing opponent damage, when I could have shut it down while maintaining pressure and recovering my health. My points are kind of proven, as my one lane death occurs when the 7 pick looked just too juicy, despite me still being at a low health, meaning I didn't have the health to use aura, and I wanted to get the kill just off of a burst with jumpstart and battery, and of course, I get smoked by that mistake, when I could have just waited for a single health minion to push in, use the jumpstart, with another ready to go and time to engage. Geist, thankfully, was able to still use that misplay to finish the trade, as we still hold our lead. A bit later, both of our ults are up before them, giving us an easy dive opportunity as soon as there is an opening, which comes quick as Geist immediately takes advantage of 7's health bar, and a bit of damage on Lash left them both very vulnerable, giving me the easy dive as soon as minions pushed into the Guardian, easily taking out 7 before triggering my own ult, and Lash staying to fight instead of leaving got him killed, leaving me with the very easy double and a bigger lead over our laners. On their return, Geist found herself out of position and susceptible to the 7 Sphere of Doom, proving why that is a problem, I don't need to explain. And when Geist got back, Lash went for a grounded alley-oop ult that Geist immediately killed him in. At this point, we just played to our advantage. Since they had no ults available for a bit, we could simply wait for opportunities to punish with while waves were funneled in by 7. With Geist ult coming up with her at less than half health, that punish came as soon as Lash came up looking for more poke, which instantly put him in a really bad position, with both of them being pushed up, allowing me to tag in for yet another double, effectively ending this lane as a victory for us. That being said, afterwards 7 came in with another ult that got Geist killed again, with one of my craziest survivals I've ever had, as I waited for Lash to engage in the Veil Zone that I know he knew I was in, while I held my own ult. But a surprise holiday appearance stuffed my plans, as I needed to instead look for a retreat that costed using my ult in an unfavorable way, other than keeping myself alive. But Apollo and Celeste decided to come in and turn the 3v1 in our favor. Even though they dropped our Guardian, we still had the advantage, but the Lash ult caught us, and I decided to risk keeping the aura on in hopes of being thrown into the opponents, which partially worked as 7 retreated while Lash's follow-up got him killed. And I was left at double digits health, forcing me to play around the holiday and her jump pads, looking to finish me off. But I had just enough regen and pressure from my teammates to finish her off before I could get picked myself. Approaching mid-game with Victor is pretty simple. Farming, my favorite. Coming out of laning phase, our other lanes came out about even. Blue barely lost, and green is pretty much dead even, despite having barely any damage on the enemy Guardian. I wanted to go into mid-game looking for a lot of pressure on objectives, taking heavy advantage of my lead, while also playing around the areas where I'm farming, anticipating scattered fights where there's a few enemies or allies nearby. Using this lead to turn fights when possible, or in case it's not possible, punish with objectives. That quickly takes shape as 7 chooses to run the urn without much of an advantage at all, and that's a fight I wanted to take. Despite not having my ult, I was willing to sacrifice to help pump damage into the upcoming fight to steal the urn for the team's lead, as well as allow us to win over this fight that will be happening. As 7 shows, I go straight into forcing him to drop, with Apollo doing the same thing, in which we were able to get rid of him pretty quickly. Apollo took the urn himself while I pulled aggro from Silver. I died to my risky heavy melee, but my team were able to use my pressure to finish that fight with 4 kills, urn, as well as the Green Guardian in exchange for my life. Afterwards, Blue Guardian was still up, so I held down that lane, getting every wave that came through while looking for the objective. It starts going down when I see my entire team is rotating mid for some reason, so might as well get these guys to try and kill me with my overextended engage. But as soon as my bait ult was popped, my crew showed up to clean that up so we could get that Guardian. Last showed on yellow, pushing up to our walker, so the Broad Street bullies made way to stuff him. So while they did that, I stayed mid to look for neutrals and waves to farm off of, as we really shouldn't be teamfighting this much. You might know my thoughts on unnecessary teamfighting. Thankfully they were fighting with the lead, all I had to do was work around it. Fight when necessary, farm and split to open advantages for them, as they played the map pretty well. The bullies were causing a lot of ruckus mid, so I figured it was a good opportunity to maybe get an urn before they get deposit advantage, while they were able to trade their blue walker for our yellow walker. I didn't like how the mid engagement was looking, as well as the disadvantage on yellow, so I came in defensive Ren before the football player could punt him, and I was able to support Celeste before we lost the man advantage with the silver pick. And while this was happening, we had 2 guys pushing up side lanes for the objectives. Our opponents ended up showing up one by one, so while side laners put on pressure, I figured I would be able to hold some of these guys mid with the bullies. Holiday was poked out before backup showed, Abrams decided to full engage while Lash smartly retreated due to the numbers advantage we had, while 2 had to match the side lanes, getting Abrams killed, letting us walk away with 2 walkers and minimal casualties. A big crew showed mid looking for a walker while Silver and Graves pushed green, so I let the bullies match them while I went in to simply defend the green walker in anticipation of follow-up from the crew as soon as blue was cleared up. As expected, so with the Graves pick, I pulled out to clean up a mid push with some nearby camps. Holiday put herself in a bad position, while I noted the heavy response to our team pushing green, hoping Celeste would get the pressure on the last walker, while I picked off the isolated Holiday, but they defended that yellow walker before any of that could happen. Once again, green was pushed in with the bullies in the area, so I once again stayed back to defend while they were able to easily pinch the pursuers. Afterwards, I was really itching to get that last walker, noting we were doing really well on these follow-ups, so I made the call simply saying, I'm going to try to force yellow walker, play in the area. We were winning these fights and follow-ups, just not in the right place. I just needed to harness the Broad Street bullies to play around me and help finish my work. Thankfully, the message seemed to be loud and clear as Apollo started bringing in the urn, and the isolated picks we needed to get an advantage came quick, as Silver showed up looking for a seemingly isolated Celeste, but our planned follow-up forced her out, and got us a pick on Abrams as well as Silver. Just needed to wait out the 7 ult to take that last walker. Lash got crushed by an anvil. Graves got a green walker finally, but Holiday could not get blue. And with the bullies in the back, curb stomping 7, I was able to get that walker, greatly improving the team's soul lead with this play, as well as my own, putting us in the position to start finishing up this game. There were a lot of neutrals on the map to take care of, so the plan was clear those, wait for an isolated pick or 2 while clearing the side lane. It took a minute to get there, but eventually the enemy decided to fight in neutral space rather than simply defend objectives, and since we were all in the area, we might as well take advantage of it. I immediately pick up the Graves and Silver pick while they find themselves in the sneaky Victor hallways. I made sure our waves were still pushing in before returning to fight, in which they had really overcommitted at this point, letting me walk by everyone for the Holiday pick before turning around to finish off Abrams. And with that, we had the advantage we were looking for to do the mid-boss. Afterwards, Celeste grabbed the urn, and despite them holding a deposit advantage, I figured we played the area and looked for a fight that they would most likely lose. Otherwise, free earn for us. We use our pressure from our group up to push in the green side, when... oh yeah, we're in. I get picked, but not until after lash through the slow AoE monster that wants to be in the middle of the team fight, into the team fight, allowing 3 picks before I die, with a bonus pickup afterwards. With all that, the crew was able to pick up both shrines and phase the patron off of it. After I revived and the crew started retreating, they ended up pushing for kills instead of just defending. So I was able to fly in for round 2 while 2 guys split to try and kill Sinclair. I kill a couple, chase to their spawn, greedily pop ult after chasing Holiday through spawn to kill her. We waited out the 7 ult, then the surprise second 7 ult showed up, killing me one more time for safekeepings on the post-game report card, before the game was wrapped up with our own 7 ult from Sinclair.